This video is sponsored by MPB. So when I say Leica, what I really mean is that I'm using a Canon lens made for the Leica front mount, adapted on my Fujifilm camera. If you've been following the channel for a while, you know that I have a bit of a thing for adapting film lenses on digital bodies. I would really love to own a proper Leica one day, and I've been eyeing one of the Q models for a while now, so if you've tried them or have any recommendations, please let me know. But for now, this setup will have to do. So this is the Canon Leica front mount, also known as the M39, and it's a 35mm f2.8. It's a little gem that was in production from the 50s through the 70s, and it was originally made for Canon rangefinder cameras. I have two fun facts for you. Fun fact number one, iconic photographer Gary Winograd, he used to use a Canon LTM lens on his Leica. I believe it was the Canon 28mm 2.8, and he used it on his Leica M2 before he upgraded to a Leica M4. Fun fact number two, if I'm not mistaken, Canon started making rangefinders as a way to compete with Leica, and a lot of their first designs were heavily inspired by Leica cameras. When I shoot 35mm film, I like to shoot with a Canon 7 or with a Canon L3. I've always found more accurate focusing with rangefinders than with SLRs, and when you shoot on film, it's nice to see most of the photos coming back on focus. Even when I'm shooting with film lenses on digital bodies, there is just something really satisfying about using manual lenses for travel photography. I love the whole process, taking the time to focus, thinking through the shot, and it all makes it feel a bit more intentional. I still find zone focusing a bit intimidating, and I don't always get it perfect, but it's one of those skills that's really worth practicing because it's just a really good photography skill to have. I'm very lucky to have family living near Venice, so I have easy access to the city, and I took this lens with me for a little trip. And Venice is one of those places where it doesn't matter the weather, the light. Whenever I go, I always come home with pictures that I love. So I went shooting with the Fujifilm X-H2, which is the main camera I'm taking with me traveling for the next 6 months. That it's a good hybrid for photo and videos. This is a 35mm, but on my crop sensor camera it becomes the equivalent of around 50mm, which is an incredible versatile focal length that I quite like for travel. I really love the image quality that I'm getting from this lens. I really love how it renders colors, contrast, and lighting. Speaking of gear, today's sponsor MPB buys, sells, and trades all sorts of used photography and videography kit, even film lenses. I personally bought my current Fujifilm X-H2 from them, as well as all my previous Fujis and lenses. I wouldn't say I go on the website every day, but I do go quite often just to browse what cameras they got. I try to buy used tech as much as I can, firstly because I try to be more sustainable, and secondly because I'm a Gen Z, but buying used always comes with a risk, and sometimes you get stuck with things that you can't actually use. What I really appreciate about MPB is the free extended warranty. So if you're investing in your dream camera, like I did, you have the peace of mind that if something goes wrong, they will help you out. I will attach the link below in my description box if you fancy having a browse. Apart from being a genuinely good lens, it's also a beautiful object with a really nice design. And I do care about what cameras and lenses look like. I am a photographer and a visual person after all. And sometimes it's nice to own a pretty object. I find that a lot of modern lenses look kind of utilitarian and don't have as nice design as older lenses. I was having a conversation with my dad recently. He was also a photographer when he was younger, and I was asking how old his Olympus camera is, and he said that he bought it when he was 20 and now he's 64. It's over 40 years old and it still looks and works beautifully. Meanwhile, I can't really say the same about my digital gear. Shooting with vintage lenses is great fun and can also make you a better photographer, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna get you hazy or soft images. In my experience adapting all sorts of lenses to digital cameras, the results vary even between lenses from the same brand, depending on how they've been stored and cared for. Arguably, one of the best things about film lenses is accessibility. They're usually much more affordable than modern autofocus lenses, and the fact that they slow you down a bit can actually help you take better photos. You're more involved in the process, it makes you think, pay attention, and be more intentional with every shot. Thanks again to MPB for sponsoring this video. I'm a big fan, so it was very cool to work together. I'm gonna leave a link in the description below if you want to browse some film lenses, and that's everything from me today. I'll see you next week.